Alex Levine will now give us a general overview of the National Honor Society. Being inducted into the National Honor Society is the highest honor and distinction that any high school student can achieve. In order to obtain this honor, a student must possess the four elements of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. It must be understood that no person can be admitted into this society unless he or she has excelled in all four of these categories. Many times, a student finds that he or she is deficient in one or two of the requirements. It also must be understood that the only thing that can keep a person from gaining acceptance into the National Honor Society is their own lack of desire or effort. It can't be said without hesitation that the 14 people yet to be announced have proven themselves worthy to be a member of the National Honor Society. For the seniors, it is not too late to start excelling in life's endeavors. For the underclassmen, this is the time to start excelling in the classroom or any activity that you choose to begin. Some of you are already set in your own ways and habits. Many have chosen a worthwhile path. For those who have not, it is never too late to start. All anyone needs is the desire to improve. Linda Wiesen will now explain the significance of the candles and the lights.
Placed on the table, there is a sconce which contains 5 candles, and beside them there are 14 smaller white candles. I've just lit the blue candle from the center of the sconce, which represents the light of eternal knowledge. This flame expresses all qualities worthwhile in man, with the other candles symbolizing one of the 4 elements of membership in the National Honor Society. The gold candle represents scholarship, and the white, red, and purple candles represent character, service, and leadership, respectively. As each current member speaks on one of the 4 elements, they will light the appropriate candle in the sconce from the candle of eternal knowledge. It is believed that these qualities stem from the root of wisdom. As each new member is inducted into the National Honor Society, they will light one of the smaller white candles, also from the flame of eternal knowledge. Jody Oxley will now speak on scholarship.
I've just lit the gold candle of scholarship. Scholarship is the foremost discriminating factor that is considered for National Honor Society membership. To be considered as a prospective candidate, a student must have a grade point average of 3.4. After this qualification is met, the student's character, service, and leadership are examined. The academic accumulation of the National Honor Society member represents the desire to learn the importance of knowledge and diligent work to achieve one's goal. Every individual is endowed with his own distinct mind and power of comprehension. However, the mere possession of mental capability does not make a person a scholar. There are many intelligent people who will never be scholars. Unless the mind's potential is utilized, it remains barren. A true scholar constantly broadens his or her intellectual horizon. In order to most effectively use mental energy, a person's desire to learn should be directed in the proper course. When he or she realizes the benefits of knowledge, he or she gains its purpose. While to some, to the scholar, the passage to a rich, meaningful life lies in the realm of learning. Being conscious of the beneficial influence that knowledge can exert on one's life can serve as the necessary motivation to propel to one's desire. The remaining step in the development of a scholar is serious application in academic pursuits. The scholar views every bit of information as valuable in all facets of education worthy of attention. He or she not only seeks to do well in their favorite subjects, but in all classes every day. Everyone has the opportunity for an education, but only you can take the action necessary to become a scholar. True Bulls will now speak on character.
What is character? Strictly speaking, the word character refers to the moral qualities, principles, and ethical standards of a person. Character also encompasses individuality, the distinctive qualities which makes one person distinguishable from another. Their personality, the combination of inner and outer characteristics that determines the impressions that one makes upon others. Like the home, the school has always tried to form good character. Schools in ancient Greece, in fact, gave more attention to manners and morals than to cities, believing that much character education can be acquired by direct association. Many American public schools have developed limited forms of student self-government in their programs of democratic education. An example of this would be the National Honor Society. The founders of the National Honor Society rightly believed that an individual's character was, and is, one of the most valuable attributes that a person possesses. Therefore, they established that only students with good moral character could enter this honorary society. All of the other qualifications, academic excellence, leadership, and service to both school and community, stem in one way or another from character. The great hope of society is not just individual character, but good individual character. And it has been said that we have to build a better man to form a better society. Therefore, we, the students of today, become as we must, the leaders of tomorrow. The seniors know as well as, or better than anyone, that yesterday is judgment and tomorrow only a day. However, if today is well lived, if today we can be responsible enough to take upon ourselves to develop a good, strong character that will be able to fight any and all obstacles that threaten our existence, tomorrow's vision will be a vision of hope. Tim Hallgren will now speak on her.
I have just lit the red candle of service. Service is one of the 4 elements required for induction to the National Honor Society. Service is doing for others without expecting something in return. It is not only what you do in school, but also how you contribute to your community, your country, and your friends. People show their service in many different ways. In school, students join organizations to help others and at the same time are improving their own character. In your community, professionals awake every morning to serve the public. But many perform their own jobs over and above the call of duty, risking their own lives to better ours. In the armed services, people serve by devoting their lives to protect our country's beliefs and freedoms. Everyday people help their friends. They offer advice and company in times of need. Opportunity to give your service to others is all around you. You should not ignore them, but put forth a little extra to contribute in any way you can. Service does not require any special talent, only a strong will to serve. The service you perform can be a small one, such as a kind word to a friend, or perhaps something much greater, such as saving a life. The significant factor is your willingness to devote your time and effort without expecting anything. The satisfaction that you will receive from this will be your greatest reward. We all make our own choices to serve or remain inactive. It is up to us to make the decisions and bear the responsibilities that follow. Pam Kozad will now speak on leadership.
Effective leaders use motivation to its fullest extent, bringing out the very best in their followers. A leader must have ambition, organization, and integrity. A good leader must have a desire to succeed, so they go for the very best. Equally important is the ability to organize and to be able to attain the highest goals. Lastly, a leader must exemplify a positive attitude and promote high standards to all his or her followers. A leader welcomes the opportunity for adventure and with courage, confidence, and determination accepts the sacrifices needed to succeed. Whatever
challenge, whatever the goal, with hard work and dedication, you can always achieve success.
Membership in the National Honor Society at the national level has a set of minimal standards that must be met. However, most local chapters go beyond the set minimum. In our local chapter, we have set the following limits for eligibility. In the area of scholarship, a student must have and maintain at least a 3.4 grade point average at the time of nomination. Dealing in character, students must have a 3.0 average in character evaluation. Character points are calculated in the following way. First, a student's yearly conduct grades are averaged, and secondly, each teacher gives a character evaluation of each student based on a point system. In the area of service, a junior candidate must have at least 10 service points, and a senior candidate must have at least 15. A student receives 1 service point for each activity in which he or she participates during his freshman through his senior year. The final area is leadership. Eligible junior candidates must have at least 2 leadership points, and senior candidates must have at least 3. Points of leadership are determined by assigning 1 point for each activity in which a candidate serves office, and for certain awards or individual honors received by the student. A National Honor Society member must maintain the standards needed for admission in order to retain key membership. Any member who falls below the standards can be put on probation or even dismissed from the society. Once dismissed, he or she can never again be eligible for membership in the National Honor Society. I would now like to call on Mr. Penning to conduct the capping ceremony.
Thank you, Mr. Penning. I, too, would like to congratulate those members that have been members of the National Honor Society and the new member. I know it's always the custom for me to talk last, whatever function it is, and I'm not sure. I thought it was a shocker. And many things that have been said here already today, it's difficult sometimes to say something that is different. But I know that we have... I knew there was more to that flash over there. But I do have some things that have always been close to me, as far as some of the talks that I have given you over the years, things that I have said. For these people to be up here has taken a lot of effort, and they are to be complimented. They have done the best that they can, but to the rest of you, the 360, no one can ask any of you to do any more than you can do. And all of you, if you work up to your potentials, doesn't matter who you are, if you give everything from your heart, here in high school, whatever you do, no one can ask you to do any more, and you're going to be a success. I guarantee it. These kids up here, I know, are going to be a success. I know you people sitting before me are going to be a success. If you got it here in your heart and you're willing to work, that's the key to everything. You've heard me say many, many times over the years about working. I don't care whether it's working here at school or whether it's working in my job. Whatever time it takes to do that job, you got to be able to take that time and do it. You can never ask for more and do less. That's crazy. You know, wherever over the last 20 or 30 years, we have got that type of philosophy in our society, in our country, I don't know. Because the secret to everything is being able to work at it. And whether it's here at school or not. That's the first secret. I know the second secret is some of the specific things that I've talked to you about. Being able to say hello to somebody with a smile on your face like you do to me here at school. I don't think any of you ever come up to me and not have a smile on your face when you say hello. And look the person in the eye and really mean it. The other type of talk I give about showing love and concern for other people. How do you accept some new person that comes into the school? You make them feel a part of it, your peers, or do you try to isolate that person? I can speak in terms of that in any organization, whether it is in the field of work or a new teacher. They're coming on board in our system. How do we accept them? Do we make them feel part of it? That's a big item. You probably heard me talk, I think I've talked to you, about how when you go into being interviewed, what people look at, what I look at, or what I try to look at. I'm not saying I always am successful in making opinions. But I think the second thing is basically judgment of what people think of you. I think probably the word is impress. How you impress people. If you impress people, it takes all of those things that I've been talking about. If you're able to do that, I don't care who you are sitting out there, you're going to be a success. I must say that I wasn't as fortunate as Mr. Penning to be elected to the National Honor Society as a junior. I was a member when I was a senior. I'm not saying that I was the most brilliant person in the world, because if I had been as brilliant as Mr. Penning, I'd have been elected when I was a junior. And I see Mr. Ross must not have been a member of the National Honor Society. I saw him come up here this morning and light one of those candles. And he said that, well, at least he got to light a candle before he left. But nonetheless, those things are important. I know there's no question about it. And all of you do it. When we go back to those individual items that I have been speaking about, you could call it an attitude, too, if you like. If you have a pleasant attitude. You know, for you people to sit here this morning and listen to me talk, listen to Mr. Penny talk, sometimes that's difficult to do, but you're doing it. And you're doing it in a positive manner. And I know that that is an attitude that you, whenever we have somebody up here, you show love and concern for people. You know, you're in a neat group. We can have assemblies here in our school yet, but you know there's not very many schools that still have assemblies. Very, very, very few. Why? For some reason, we don't project it, and you don't project it. I don't mean you, other students, of the type of a situation you need to be able to have everybody together. And that's what the whole thing is all about. I know when you people go in to get a job, you can sit down and you can talk to that person. You can look them in the eye and have a smile on your face and be able to project what you want to project in that interview. And you can review the things that you have done. And you can do it in a positive manner, like all of us here working together have tried all of us to be, even myself. Don't think that that person isn't looking at those things. Even how you shake hands with the person. How do you shake hands with the person when you walk up to them? You put your hand out there, and it's like a limp rag, where you take it, and, you know, when you shake hands with a person, you grab that person's hand. I don't mean squeeze their ring off or anything like that. But a lot of times, you know, a lot of people in my position, they know how sincere, or they feel that. Now, that doesn't always mean that that's the truth. How sincere you are when you do shake hands with the person. When you go in for an interview. Then, as far as the types of things that you talk about how you feel about people, how that you can show love and concern for other people. And to me, that's the name of the game. And you people have it. In my case, over the years, you've always had it. We have many call our office because we've had a reputation over the years of being able to place people because they've come from Mineral Ridge, because they have liked the type of a person that has worked there before. And why is that? Because they get along. They do have that type of love that you people need as kids when you grow up. And I think that that is what it's all about. And I know that if you continue to do that, not only the people up here, because they have paid the price, worked hard, and you people there, I know very much that you say, well, if I go to school, I'm not going to make it. Now, I don't think I've ever talked about my own family before to you at all. But I would like to use the example. I don't think my boys or girl Wayne National Honor Society, I'm not even sure whether they did or not. I don't think they did. But they all graduated from college. The one boy went to college at Kent, and he more or less graduated there. And of course, he's from Mineral Ridge. That's what I'm proud of more than anything else. And he received a 3.93 average, which meant he only had 2 B's all the time he went to college. Of course, he went on his law degree afterwards. Now, he didn't do that well here at school. But somewhere he found that ability right here to work a little harder, to be able to go on and do that. And of course, he did receive the outstanding graduate in education from Canada the year that he graduated. And he got a nice scholarship to go on to school with that. But nonetheless, it goes to show that everybody, doesn't matter where you are, or what time, where you are in your life, if you say you want to do something different, do it differently than what you have done, you can do it. It doesn't matter whether you're 18 or 20 or 25, it's never too late to turn around. That's just like all of us, maybe a time a few of us have had problems where I've had to say a few things to you. But again, you can ever tell me that the next morning wasn't a different day, and we're starting over from that day, and hold anything against anybody. Because you can't do that. And that's the same with you people all the way through. Just remember that. Whether you are a junior or a sophomore or a freshman, I think you remember graduation. Some of you kids are sophomores now. Last year, what I told you when we moved the kids up, you still can get a hold of what you're doing before you get out of school. Of course, if you don't, that doesn't mean that later on, whenever that point is, that you can change your life around and do something different. When you do those things, you're the one that's going to be the successful person. Now, it has been a pleasure for me to be here always at this National Honor Society assembly, because I know that that's what it's all about. We've had many, many honors here at our school this year. And I think this is just a continuation of the things that have been bestowed upon people that actually have worked hard and they are deserving of it and will continue to do things. And I know that if you keep those things in mind, not only the people up here are going to be successful, each and every one of you are going to be successful also. Thank you.